So hello, welcome back to my channel. What is up? Skibidi-doo. You might see a couple of cats in the background because they're here in my room. These cats don't want to be disturbed, so I'm not gonna force them to join the video, but you might see them. So the video that I wanted to do today was just a little, update on the books that I'm reading. Yes, that is plural. I am reading several books at the same time. I'm not a big proponent of polyamory, but when it comes to books, my heart has many rooms. I don't consider myself a polyreader because I don't do this often. I don't read many books at the same time. I usually want to read a book, finish it, start the next one. You know how sane people do it. But the problem is, I've been stuck on a book for so long that I could feel myself getting into a reading slump. So I wanted to snap out of that and just accept that I think this is the season of me being a mood reader. I'm sure many of you do this. It's just not something I'm used to. This is kind of like the first time I'm doing it, which is interesting. And the very first book that I'm going to talk about is the reason I am in this situation in the first place. That is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I am so sick of talking about this book. I feel like I've mentioned this book around 5 times throughout many videos that I've uploaded in the last few weeks, month. I have no idea anymore. I brought this with me in Vietnam, and it's been almost 2 months since that trip, so it's very alarming to me that I haven't been progressing as much reading this. But don't get me wrong, I don't hate it. I don't plan on DNFing the book, but my issue with it is that it requires a lot of focus and energy, and lately I've been kind of burnt out at work and life in general. So there really isn't much time for me to just sit down and give this book my all, my laser focus, my attention. As I said, I still like it. I still plan to finish it. I don't know when, if it's going to be within the year, but I am slowly, page by page, reading this. Just not fast enough for me to, form coherent thoughts about it yet. Let's go to the next book. I bought this for a bargain. It's called Read This Before Our Next Meeting. It's basically a book about how to make meetings more efficient, because some meetings can be emails. You've all heard that saying, right? As a corporate girl, that's really an issue sometimes, is that you have so much things to do. You're kind of forced to attend these meetings that have no bearing whatsoever on your life, on your current role, on your current responsibilities, and so you end up wasting so much time. This book gives me more insight about that phenomenon and gives practical tips on how to efficiently facilitate these kinds of meetings. I plan to let my coworkers read this as well, because I'm not the only one with the responsibility to make meetings more efficient. So hopefully this will help all of us in the team. But so far I like it. So far it's, it is what it is. It's just a book about making meetings as productive and as concise as possible so that everyone can do their job better. So the second book that I'm reading, I don't have a physical copy of, but I'm reading it on my Kindle right now. It's called Tired of Trying by Ashley Morgan Jackson. This is also a little bit of a self-help book written by a Christian author, and it's really about emotional, mental, physical, spiritual exhaustion and how to deal with that within, a biblical framework. And so far, it's been really helpful to me. I empathize a lot with what the author has gone through, and she really understands what it means to just be emptied out, to be pouring from an empty cup. I've been reading this for a while now, and I thought I'd be putting it down because I've completely forgotten that I was reading it. So I thought of starting it over. But when I opened it, the page that I was last reading had the exact message that I needed to hear at that date. So I figured I'd just continue and read it when I can. I'm excited to finish it. I'm excited to see what else the book has in store in terms of wisdom, in terms of, you know, helping me navigate these moments of emptiness and exhaustion and how to heal from that. So the fourth book that I am reading now is a reread from last year, and it is Normal People by Sally Rooney. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why I'm reading, because honestly I don't know why. I just picked this up randomly. My brother just wanted to order pizza. So I was just in the mood for a slow burn, you know, long winding, years spanning romance. If you've watched my older videos, you'd know that I just love that kind of story. Yeah, I've read this novel before and I've watched the series and I absolutely loved it. I haven't read other Sally Rooney books like Conversations with Friends and her other more recent novel, Beautiful World, Where Are You? Did I get the title right? I did a little bit of research on the blurbs of those books and I wasn't very keen on them. Normal People, though, is definitely up my alley and will forever be. I'll come back to this book whenever I feel like I'm craving some type of romantic tension in my life. I'm around 50 pages in and it's as beautiful as when I first read it. So I hope to finish this soon. I think I'll finish this before I even finish The Secret History because of how much I love this book. Oh, I think the reason I picked this up was because I saw a clip of Paul Mescal and Daisy Edgar Jones somewhere. I just remembered how obsessed I was with them, how much I wanted the both of them to date. And I ship those two so much. And until now, I'm a big like Daisy Paul advocate. I know they're not dating, but I really wished they were. They're perfect together. But this is after Paul and Phoebe broke up because I thought Paul and Phoebe were perfect. I don't know why I'm talking about celebrities right now. That is not the topic at hand. Normal People. One of my go-to romance novels. Good for the heart, good for the brain. Pain. I love pain. And last but not the least, I picked this up a couple of nights ago because I remembered I loved a short story from this book. So I was reading that story while I was cooking some popcorn, and it is Dear Distance by Luis Katigbak. Rest in peace, Sir Luis, your book is amazing. This book is a gold mine of very tender short stories about youth and relationships. I haven't read many of the stories. I think I've read 3 of them before, so I want to go through all of the stories this time around. Well written. I love his prose. I think I've talked about this before, but I'm not a really big fan of many male writers, not because they're men, but because there's like this brusqueness to their voice that doesn't appeal to me. But Luis Katigbak has a very tender style to his writing. It's very delicate and I love his short stories. One of my favorites is Passengers. I really love that short story. If you haven't read any of Luis Katigbak's work, I recommend that you try it out. He was a really well-respected Filipino writer. Yeah, I just missed his writing. So yeah, that is it for my very short video. I would like to thank you all, by the way, because my subscriber count has tripled since the last time that I saw. It was around 50 when I uploaded my favorite books of all time video, and now it's nearing 200, I think, and that's so crazy to me. I think you guys really liked that last video. I have similar videos coming up, but I really appreciate you being here. I didn't expect that I would be making a YouTube channel this year. It just happened, and I'm just so grateful for all the feedback and the engagement, the people who've sort of shared a little bit about themselves in the comment section. I appreciate all of you, and I hope to continue to do this for a very long time and share my love of books with all of you. So that is it. Thank you, and I will see you in the next video that I'm editing that I'll make sure to upload within the week. Bye.